recently I've been feeling a lot of hopelessness, tired. I just sit down and a very strong sense of emptiness inside. And I know it's not because of what I have or what I don't have. I know getting a new job or a new car, consuming more, I know none of these things would actually take away the emptiness that I feel. And if I'm being honest, I know that my emptiness, the emptiness I feel deep down inside, the emptiness that takes away my joy, and the emptiness, I know it's from a result of me not living in my purpose. Oliver, come here. And I've been doing a lot of self-reflection as to why I'm not living in my purpose. And by purpose, I don't mean work, I don't mean job. You see, your job, that's just what you do to earn income. Your job pays you salary. But your job is not your purpose. Your job is not your work. You see, that's what I mean by purpose. I mean your work, okay? Your God-given work. See, your purpose gives you life. Your job is not your purpose. Jesus Christ's job was carpenter. He was a carpenter. But that wasn't his work. That wasn't his purpose. Peter's job was a fisherman. But that wasn't his purpose. That wasn't his God-given work. And that's why some of us are depressed. That's why some of us dislike going to that job. You hear people say, oh man, this job is killing me. And it's true. Some people's job literally killing them, giving them depression, taking the joy out of life because you're going to something that you're not. And I'm not saying your job is useless and you should go and quit your job. I'm saying your job is useless if you never know and walk in your purpose. And when I look at myself and I say, man, why am I not living in my purpose? And I start realizing that, you see, the reason I'm not living my purpose, or the reason I gave up on my purpose, is really because of the voices. It's because of the lies that I have come to believe. See, when I was a youngin, when I was growing up, man, I believed everything. I believed everything that I wanted to do was possible. And what I wanted to do was not really because of whatever came with it. I didn't even know what came with it. But then somewhere along the line, someone come and tell you, hey, you're not artistic enough. You're not creative enough. You can't speak like them. You don't speak fluently. And the mountain and the obstacles that you couldn't see, all of a sudden now they are visible. Someone else created an insecurity for you. And it's unfortunate when the people who are supposed to protect and encourage our dreams become the very ones that discourage us. I wasn't worried about the way people might look at me. I wasn't worried about failing. But now, because somebody told me, what if they look at you this way? You see, and I allow that stuff. Man, how will people look at me if I fail? How will people look at me if I, if I'm not creative enough? What if I can't do this? What if I have nothing, to offer in this field that I'm trying, that I love, in this thing that I want to do? So I take a different path, go to school and just do something that is, be realistic. So you end up taking that path. 15 years later, 10 years later, you're miserable and you have that regret. And that's the thing with me, and that's why the feeling of emptiness that I feel within me, because I know what my purpose is. I know what I should be doing. See, but I keep running away from it because of, fear. Because of fear of people, these voices that I listen to. They created a mountain that I couldn't even see. And some people, when you tell them about your purpose, and I think this is why sometimes you need to keep your purpose to yourself. You need to keep your dream. You need to keep that thing that makes you feel alive. You need to keep it sometimes to yourself. Because when you tell some people your dream, I really believe that some people, they mean well, right? They mean well, and they'll tell you things and they'll give you, advice based on their own knowledge. And that's why, the Bible says we should not take the wisdom of man, because the wisdom of man is foolishness compared to the wisdom of God, and that's what we should seek. And now somebody is telling you, man, this is why you shouldn't do this. Don't marry, women are like this, or men are like this, or if you marry, make sure you do this, and they tell you all these things, all these games. If you're married, make sure you keep your money on your side, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. And when you really look at that and all those things that people tell you that look like it's advice, look like they are looking out for you, and they very well might be looking out for you, but you realize that these people are giving you knowledge from a place of hurt. They are giving you knowledge from a place of their own trauma and their own experiences. And you who have no trauma, you just want to live, you just want to live and be happy. Now you start looking at life and start looking at things from the perspective of somebody who is hurt. See, and that's the thing with earthly wisdom. That's why we need to get away from earthly wisdom, and we need to be careful with the voices that we listen to. See, some people will tell you, man, you tell some people your purpose, or you tell some people the thing that you want to do, and they will tell you why you shouldn't do it. But they are not really doing it because they care for you. I mean, they will max it like that. But the reason why they are trying to talk you out of it is really because when they look at you, they know that deep down they look at their life and they know they didn't go for the things that they wanted to go after. And they look at you and they're like, man, you see, what if this person makes it? And that's just the truth. Some people don't really want you to make it. There are some people in your life, and you will realize, and that's what breaks my heart, people that you've known for a long time, people that you consider friends, brother, and you realize, man, that, they never support you really, when you really want to go after what it is that you want to go after. And I've noticed this too with posting on social media, that the people, and most of you might also relate to this, most people that support you, it's not even the people that you know. It's total, complete strangers. Those are the people that support you. And since I know what my calling is, it eats me alive like every single day that I don't do it. And the more that I have clarity on what I'm supposed to do, the more emptiness I feel because I'm not doing it. And and that's the thing with purpose. Your purpose will always be alive. Like the Bible, it says in Proverbs, many are the plans of a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that will prevail. That means the purpose of God upon your life, you can't run away from it. You can't give it away. It's there. And Dr. Myles Munroe said, what you really are is what you thought of first. What you really are is that thing that you thought of first. What did you see? What were you thinking when you were 15, when you were 12, when you were 22? Where are you now? What happened to that thing? Your purpose, that thing that whenever you see other people doing, you're like, man, I know this is what I should be doing. It might not be that exact same thing, because what is in you is in you, and only you can give it in the way that only you can give, because there is only one you. This is a reminder for not just you, because I'm making this video for me as well. Many people might be saying this and saying, man, what you're saying is true, but man, I'm old, I'm 80. But remember, Abraham did not start until he was 75. And this video is me taking a step towards my purpose. But I don't want it to just be that. I want it to also be a step, something that pushes you, something that wakens a fire, something that gives you a different perspective and encourages you as well to go after that thing that you've been putting away.